Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm Zemore, the dad and dad play stuff, and today's video is going to be all about Palworld and what is surrounding it. So I'm going to start off by saying I have been playing Palworld on Game Pass, and I found it an incredibly fun little game. I am enjoying it, and Pokemon with guns is definitely a kind of appealing subtype. And overall, yeah, my experience with the game has been incredibly positive. I've had a number of crashes, couple of bugs, but the game is in early access, and it very much is, playing in the way that I kind of would have expected from the footage that I saw prior to downloading it and booting it up. So the first thing I want to talk about is pals themselves. Now, pals are creatures like Pokemon. That's the easiest way to describe them because that's what they look like and that's kind of what they are. And you battle against them and you catch them and then use them to battle. However, the main difference between this and a Pokemon game is Pokemon games are turn-based. This is a real-time action-oriented game, and the main combatant is actually your character. So you use the pals to battle, but you don't let them do everything. You pretty much run around, beat things with a baseball bat, shotgun, machine gun, anything, that kind of thing. So to call it Pokemon with guns, I think is a bit oversimplistic. It's definitely a creature capture game, but it is closer to the combat style of Breath of the Wild than it is to a Pokemon game. It's just you have these weird and wonderful creatures that back you up. Now, the pals themselves come in massive different varieties. There's currently 111 of them, so there is a fair amount of them kicking around, and each of them have different abilities. They can do different things, and they can be upgraded so that they can fill different niches. For example, you can get a key item which gives you a glove, which allows you to throw the electric hedgehog one like it's a grenade, and it explodes, kills everything in the area. Absolutely fun, funky, and cool concept. I absolutely love that kind of idea. And different ones do different things. Some of them you can ride, some of them you can fly on, some of them get a Gatling gun. There's lots of different things that customize them as you progress through the game. So overall, the pals are these weird and wacky creatures like Pokemon that have different abilities, but ultimately you are the main combatant. It's not it's not pals battling pals. It's you and pals battling someone else in pals or just pals. So it does kind of die on that hill of saying that it's Pokemon with guns. It is not Pokemon with guns. It is its own thing, but it does have Pokemon-like creatures that take part in the combat. So next, let's talk about the camp system. Now, the camp system's relatively simple. It's on the surface looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. But essentially, you build things such as crafting stations, food fields like berry fields, wheat plantations, um, and furnaces, a lumber yard, a kind of mining bit for them to smash up trees and destroy rocks, and collect resources. And what you do with this is you put pals into your camp, and these little guys run in an automated fashion. And essentially, if you look at the stats on pals, each one of them has different stats and things that they're good at. Some will be good at cutting down trees, some will be good at mining, some will be good at transporting the objects from one area to another, like putting the wood into boxes so that you've got loads of wood stored away and it doesn't stay in a random place. Some are good at crafting, some are good at creating things, some are good at defense, some are good at farming. There's all manner of different things that they're good at. And you want to create a team of pals that fill the niches that you need. So if you need lots of water, then you need a pal that can water the plants or power the plants, like a water wheel with water, that kind of thing. And as the game goes on, that gets more complicated, and you need bigger and better pals to kind of sustain it. And there's little missions as you build things that then unlock more pal slots for your camp, and in turn more camp slots for the world. So you can build multiple camps in different places to make use out of resources and that kind of thing. Overall, it seems on the surface a little bit more complicated when you look at the raw numbers, but when you play it, it kind of just runs itself a lot of the time. You don't really need to do much in order to it. Your pals can get stressed out, they can get sick, they can get tired. As a result, you can build things that help with that, like a hot spring. You also get attacked by random enemies, which you can also build defenses such as walls, alarms, things that act as defenses, like a set of sandbags where you can set up little guys who shoot the crap out of anything that comes in. So there's lots of different things that you can do to change the way the game functions and build bigger, better camps that automate the resource generation, which allows you to craft your items and just generally explore the world. And this actually helps because of the automation thing, where you can basically set up a station in the camp and say, right, I want to build 40 of these Pokeballs. Now, the Pokeball, well, the PAL spheres will build as they go up. One of your little pals will go up and start building them, and you can go away and do whatever you want. So by the time you come back, they'll be finished, and then you can pick them up and go and catch whatever you like. So the automation side of it does add that little nuance of I don't need to hang around at the camp holding a button down, crafting everything. And don't get me wrong, you can do that. You can sit there and craft everything manually. You just don't have to. Either way, I think it's quite an effective system. And again, in an early access game that I am currently not paying for because it's on Game Pass, I think the system is quite fun, quite unique's not the right word, but it's unique for the type of game it is, and I enjoy the little camp aspect of it, and I can't wait to see what they create next in regards to it. So next, let's talk about the game graphically. Now, the way it looks is pretty much the way I'd expect a game that you title Pokemon with guns to look. The pals look like Pokemon. They're funky, cool designs. Some of them are absolutely awesome. The landscape looks stunning and beautiful, and generally the vibe of the game is quite chilled out and relaxed. But at the same time, you can get into some carnage when you want to. So visually, I think the game achieves what it really needs to do. It's crisp, it's clean, it's very JRPG, and very much in a style that I would associate people who like Pokemon with. That very kind of Japanesey, clean, crisp design. And overall, love it. So to sum up my thoughts on the game, it is a unique idea. I think that there are elements from Pokemon that are in the game, but in terms of the way it plays and the way it is its own fundamentally own thing. It is a very cool new concept, and I'm really enjoying playing it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they develop the content as they go, because it is obviously an early access, and what we see is not a finished product yet. We might get PvP, we might get some sort of ranked system where you can take on people in some sort of combat. The gameplay might evolve. There'll be new things that they add in the future. And I think for the game, and with the success that it's had, the future seems relatively bright. There is so much that they could do, and with the amount of money that they've potentially made out of the Steam sales of the game, it's going to be insane what they can hopefully manage and do with this game. However, now, it is a big however, because this game is surrounded by a lot of controversy. Obviously, people are looking at it as Pokemon with guns, and certain of the in-game models of certain pals actually bear a striking similarity to Pokemon that already exist, as does certain parts of pals that seem to share similarities with assets from actual Pokemon. There's a lot of online comparisons being made, and a lot of things that people are showing, and people have compared models where they are pretty much one for one on top of each other. This seems like it's not a coincidence. Now, all of these claims are alleged. There's no definitive they definitely stole these models kind of moment that's happened yet. So it is all to an extent conjecture, theories, until proven to be true. But the problem is, Nintendo is a very litigious company, and with that being the case, there's always a good chance that they will decide to pursue legal action. And the reality is, if they have in fact stolen some of Nintendo's property, then I think they are well within the rights and should pursue legal action. They shouldn't get away with theft. And there's a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit and all that that are saying, oh, boo-hoo, Nintendo's a big multi-billion corporation. But when does theft become okay? When is the line that you decide, oh, it's okay to steal from someone because they make more money than you or because you don't like them? Can I go and rob one of my neighbours because I don't like them and steal their TV? I mean, I don't think that'll hold up in a court of law. I don't think it should hold up in a court of law. And I very much am on the side of if they have committed some sort of uh, copyright breach or what's the word? Where you steal. Oh, if they've committed this in any which way, I think they should be punished for it. And it leaves the problem open to financially supporting the game. You might buy a game now, and in a couple of months' time, it could be taken off the Steam Marketplace, or you know they might leave it in the Steam Marketplace, but then shut down all development, and therefore the game never really comes out as its full complete thing. And I just feel like the sword of Damocles is hanging over this game in the form of a big Mario shaped ass that will fall down and shit on Palworld from orbit. So I'm on the fence. Like I definitely think that they should be punished for theft if there is in fact theft went on. But at the same time, I really want this game to do well. I think it's a fresh take on the concept of creature capturing games. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing in Palworld that's brand new. It's all like combinations of things from different games, and that's absolutely fine. I absolutely love that it's taken elements from different games and added them into the one thing and made it into this cool little concept. But at the same time, I do not like them stealing physical assets from one game and putting them into another, if that's in fact what they've done, because again, it's all alleged. So I put that question out to you guys. Do you think they have in fact 100% stolen assets from Pokemon? Or do you think it's just they've made things similar? And if they have done, what do you think should be the end result? On top of that, what do you think of the game? Have you been enjoying it? Have you been enjoying playing it? Have you not tried it yet? All that kind of thing. I really want to know people's opinions. And I will point out, if you just put in the comments, Nintendo sucks, it's not very constructive. And you're absolutely not adding anything to this conversation. So think about when you comment, please. Because I genuinely want to hear what you guys genuinely think. And if you think this is a big coincidental misunderstanding or there's something dodgy going on here. And don't get me wrong, I'm leaning more on the side of there's something dodgy going on here because they've done it before with their previous game. So I don't think it's just as easy and cut and dry to say, oh, it's just a big coincidence. I don't think it is. And unfortunately, I think Nintendo probably will do something. But at the same time, I still want the game to succeed because it is fun. It is a good game. I just don't want them to get away with stealing. Either way, like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.